Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. The mainstream media will love to tell us all that people such as Douglas Murray and Tommy Robinson are the enemy of the people, especially Tommy Robinson. The mainstream media hates his guts. And is it any wonder that the mainstream media hates men such as Tommy Robinson? Because Tommy Robinson actually stands for something good for the country. Mainstream media, on the other hand, they do not. The mainstream media are more like Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer's two-tier policing system in the UK. So if a man or a woman that is a UK citizen says something on Facebook, they're immediately jailed for saying something on Facebook that Keir Starmer doesn't agree with. Here in Australia now, they want to start charging, I believe, social media companies 5% every single time someone on social media says something that the Australian government would deem as being misinformation and not censoring it. Freedom of speech here in Australia is going down the absolute drain, but no one really is aware of that. No, only myself. And if you are actually awake and looking at what's going on, are you actually aware of it? It's people like me and so many others I know in Australia, like Andrew Bogut, for example, Rita Panini, who's part of Sky News Australia, and quite a few others that are trying to get the message out there that, hey, we're in a lot of trouble if the Australian government decides that they want to restrict freedom of speech. We don't have a constitution like the US does. We have something completely different than that. And if it's any consolation to US viewers, my US viewers, I should say, then you guys would have known what Australia went through under COVID. Now, anyone that spoke out regarding COVID and what took place there, you were immediately labeled a misinformation. You know, you're basically a terrorist in the Australian public's eyes. If you went against the mainstream narrative, men like Jay Bhattacharya, you name it, they were all outlawed and banned for saying things that really needed to be said. And we had all these epidemiologists and whoever else, they were making stuff up as they went along, but the goalpost just kept on moving. Anyway, it's the same thing when it comes to warning people about the mass immigration that's going on in the UK and even here in Australia, which is really concerning. People like Tommy Robinson are the enemy of the mainstream media, and they're the enemy of Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer doesn't like Tommy Robinson. Why is that? Because Tommy Robinson unites the people. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, accuses the people of being far-right lunatics, and you will be jailed. So Keir Starmer divides the people. So the two-state solution that Keir Starmer, or the two-tier policing system, I should say, that Keir Starmer is actually implementing at the moment. So you're going to jail innocent UK citizens and let actual illegal immigrants that have done the wrong thing, a young girl, you're going to let them off scot-free. It beats me, right? But the UK plans to release over 1,700 inmates to reduce prison overcrowding. Yes, we've got to make way for those grandmas and grandpas that have said their opinion on social media that Keir Starmer and his police don't agree with. So that's some of the things that Tommy Robinson is warning all the UK citizens of. And, well, if you are in the Muslim community, a lot of Muslims, yes, they do like Tommy, but a lot of them don't. Why? Because they believe in the lies that the mainstream media paints. Problem with today's mainstream media is that they fabricate these stories, and if you can control the narrative, you can control everything. You control the speech, you can control the government, everything. If you create a narrative that is suitable for only one particular side and the other side has got no say whatsoever, they're screwed. That's exactly what the mainstream media is doing. But the problem is, the mainstream media knows this, as well as Keir Starmer. People like Douglas Murray and Tommy Robinson that have been sounding the alarm on this for a long time. Douglas Murray wrote the book, The Strange Death of Europe, warning about mass immigration. It's problematic. He didn't want to write the book, but he's been sounding it off for years. So is Tommy Robinson. And these people are starting to wake up. Mass amounts of people. Mass amounts of people. But according to the mainstream media, Tommy Robinson is the enemy of the UK, the enemy of the British people, except that he's not. So let's get back to the prison issue at the moment, which is like really concerning, if you ask me. In a bid to address severe prison overcrowding, the UK government plans to release 1,700 inmates early, with approximately 30 of those set to return to Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. This decision has sparked concerns about potential risks in public safety, particularly regarding domestic abuse survivors and gang violence, as offenders serving less than 5 years are included in the release. The UK's done, man. Absolutely done. Tommy Robinson goes, 9 weeks as Prime Minister. Keir Starmer has locked up hundreds of concerned British citizens and released 1,700 actual criminals to make way for them. Billions for climate, hundreds of millions for Ukraine, taken away pensioners' heating, now targeting their bus passes as well. Starmer refuses to rule out scrapping free bus passes for pensioners because he's more than likely going to do it. It's very, very much like we have Albanese here in Australia, who is rather spineless, and he claims to be, to my understanding, claims to be for the people, but yet he's not doing anything for the people. Like, our economy is shot at the moment because of him and his lackeys spending on useless things. They prop it up to be like it's this amazing thing, but it's not really great when you break it down. That's a problem with the mainstream narrative. You make it sound a particular way. It's all emotional. It's all airy-fairy. But then when you boil everything down to the nitty-gritty of things and you actually make sense of it all, you're going, oh, that's terrible. That's not going to be good for any taxpayer. But hey, Albanese, I am for you guys. No, you're not, mate. You're only for yourself. Seriously. So here is Tommy Robinson. He's got a new documentary coming out, which I think everyone should watch. When it does come out, I'll be making a video about it. But he's got this new documentary coming out. And as much as the mainstream media, the legacy media, paint Tommy Robinson as being Britain's most hated man, watch what happens when Tommy walks down the streets of the UK. It's quite interesting. He's like a celebrity, man. They treat him like he's a bloody god. And is it any wonder? The people of the UK see this man who's rather courageous and rather heroic to them, standing up and speaking out. It's not an easy thing to do. Telling the truth. People will flock to those people that actually start telling the truth. That's exactly what he's doing. But people like Piers Morgan in the legacy media as well don't like him. They don't want to platform him because they perceive him to be dangerous. They perceive what he has to say, even though it's the truth, to be Islamophobic, racist, all the other, stupid words that you can throw under in the sentence. It's like pick your flavor of the month kind of deal. So have a watch of Tommy Robinson walking down the street and being treated like an actual celebrity.
I walk down the street, wherever I walk. I don't know how long your cameras are here for. Why don't we walk through Albufeira High Street?
If you're happy to do
I'll do it. Why don't we walk through Albufeira High Street and see the reception we receive?
All right.
See how the British public feel.
Okay.
I ain't been out I can't remember. When I used to go out, I end up being unsociable. Go on, mate, how are you? You good?
Keep it up.
Cheers, bub. Cheers, bub. Go on, mate, how are you?
I tell you what,
children, we've been trying to get this message across for years. Thank you for
when the 75-year-old Nana is fucking phoning me up and coming over my house and going, have you seen that Tommy Robinson? Said, well, I have. And he's going, that man there is completely right. And that's a 75-year-old woman.
Nana's on it. Come on, man.
Someone matters later on.
Thank you very much for your advice.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Yes, all right.
Right,
How are you?
Cheers, darling. Thanks. Na, 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 na. He said, He said things have changed, and when my 75-year-old nana is ringing me up saying, "Are you watching Tommy Robinson?" He goes, "My nana." Mate, how are you, bud? Right? Yeah, good, man. We on the sesh? Yeah, good, guys. Yeah, you good?
My favorite bit is when the guy tells Tommy Robinson, my nana is telling me, phoning me up and saying, "Hey, you watching that fucking Tommy Robinson?" It is bloody brilliant, man. And when you say, "Nana's on it, man. Nana's on it." Yeah, we're gonna listen to Nana. Oh, you're gonna love the British people. But he's treated like he's a favorite. Like he's almost a king in many, many respects to these people. They really appreciate what he's doing. You see, so many people are patting him on the back, giving him a high five and saying, "Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for what you're doing." The mainstream media and the government hate him. Is it any wonder? He's going against the narrative. And the moment you do that, you'll be labeled as hateful. You'll be labeled all these different things. But it doesn't matter because men like Tommy Robinson are courageous. They don't give up. They keep on fighting. And I'm grateful for men like that because it gives me hope, as I'm sure it does give many of you hope in the UK. He says, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to speak out. It's okay. If the UK government or the police decide to arrest him, especially after the protest, the peaceful protest he's planning on the 26th of October outside of 10 Dowling Street, if they decide to arrest him either before, during, or after, you're going to make a lot of people very unhappy. But not just that, you're going to make a lot of people see it and go, something's not right. Tommy's now a martyr. We're now going to look to him and go, we need to be just like him. So the UK government's got to be very careful in this case. Very, very careful. And I wish Tommy Robinson nothing but health and safety because that's most important. Because if he does get arrested and put in jail, the likelihood of him surviving is very, very slim because who's waiting for him in prison? Yes. Anyway, my friends, thank you all so much for watching. You guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.